Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today, we're going to expose the invisible hands guiding your digital and financial lives. We're looking at some truly fascinating research sitting right at the intersection of behavioral economics, interface design, and, well, your wallet. Let's kick things off with a highly relatable frustration. Have you ever kept a subscription service just because the cancel button felt like it was hidden in some impossible maze? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. It turns out our brains are constantly being, subtly hacked by the apps we use every single day. Whether it's scrolling endlessly or buying things we really don't need, we've all experienced this firsthand.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The autopilot brain. 2. What is digital nudging? 3. Nudges in the wild. 4. The myopia trap. 5. The behavioral antidote. And finally, 6. Taking back control. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The autopilot brain. Meet your mental operating systems.
Okay, so Daniel Kahneman's famous dual process theory suggests our brain basically runs on two distinct operating systems. We spend almost all of our time relying on System 1. This is an automatic, fast, and intuitive autopilot that uses mental shortcuts to save energy. Then there's System 2, which is analytical and deliberate, but man, it requires serious cognitive effort. Because modern life literally bombards us with choices, our tired brains just naturally default to System 1. And that is exactly where we become vulnerable.
Section 2. What is digital nudging? The architecture of choice. Right, so digital nudging is built entirely on something called choice architecture. Coined by behavioral economists Thaler and Sunstein, a nudge is essentially a subtle design tweak that predictably alters your behavior without actually forbidding any options. Think of it like arranging a cafeteria so the fresh fruit is right at eye level. You can totally still reach down for the candy bar, but the environment is strategically designed to make the healthier choice the easiest choice.
When researchers looked at empirical data across over 100 studies, two tactics completely dominated the landscape: defaults and social proof. Defaults exploit our status quo bias. Whatever is pre-selected, like that sneaky auto-renew checkbox, is what we usually just accept. Social proof, on the other hand, leverages our deep instinct to follow the herd. Seeing tags like 20,000 other people bought this entirely bypasses our critical system too. Our autopilot just kind of assumes, well, if everyone else is doing it, it must be the right move.
Section 3. Nudges in the wild, from clicks to conversions. These nudges are literally everywhere. E-commerce sites weaponize our fear of missing out with glaring red text warning, "Only 2 left in stock." Fintech apps like Acorns, for example, use defaults to automatically round up your spare change, nudging you into saving without even thinking about it. Even your health apps use gamification and daily streaks to, guilt nudge you into a morning run. It's fascinating. The platform shapes your habits simply by altering how your choices are framed.
But we need to remain objective here. While nudges can absolutely help us exercise more, or save for a rainy day, they can also easily cross a line into what are known as dark patterns. This is choice architecture weaponized against the user. Think hidden subscriptions, deceptive pop-ups, disguised ads, the whole shebang. The psychological tool itself is neutral. It's the intent behind the design that really matters.
Section 4. The myopia trap. When short-sightedness costs you.
Now notice the distinction here between traditional low financial literacy and myopia. Traditional low literacy is about simply not understanding core math concepts, right? Like compound interest. But myopia is entirely behavioral. It's a short-sighted trap where our brains vastly prefer immediate rewards over long-term security. The outcomes? Well, this bias toward instant gratification leads directly to lower pensions, depleted savings, and dangerous debt. You can understand the math perfectly, but your myopic autopilot will still convince you to spend today.
Section 5. The behavioral antidote, a scientific breakthrough.
So how do we actually protect ourselves? Enter a super fascinating randomized controlled trial from KU Leuven in Belgium. Researchers tested over 800 secondary school students with a revolutionary question. What if, instead of just teaching financial math, we taught people how their own biases actually work?
This model reveals the true plot twist of their research. Look at the top path. That's the traditional approach, teaching financial concepts directly to improve literacy. But looking at the bottom path, we see their new behavioral-based framework. The intervention deliberately taught students about their own cognitive blind spots, like myopia. By teaching them how they think, rather than just what to think, they completely changed the equation.
The researchers discovered what is basically the ultimate cheat code for financial health: self-awareness.
When students simply understood their own tendency to be short-sighted, their financial decision-making vastly improved. Awareness itself acts as a powerful mediator, naturally boosting financial literacy.
The results were absolutely staggering. The groups that received this behavioral awareness training improved their financial literacy scores by up to 0.67 standard deviations compared to the control group. In the world of educational research, that is a massive, highly significant leap in comprehension.
And get this, at the exact same time, the student's actual myopic bias dropped by up to 0.39 standard deviations. By pulling back the curtain and showing him the invisible forces governing their choices, the researchers successfully mitigated the bias. Think about that. Awareness literally rewired their behavior. Section 6. Taking back control, your behavioral armor.
By combining our knowledge of digital choice architecture with these incredible findings, you now have your own behavioral armor. First, recognize when you're operating on your fast, lazy autopilot. Second, actively hunt for defaults and scarcity nudges. Third, acknowledge your own myopic bias. Know that your brain wants a reward today, not in 30 years. And finally, use that awareness to hit pause and let your analytical system too take the wheel.
I want to leave you with this final thought. Next time you open an app or go to make a purchase online, ask yourself, is this truly my choice, or is it just choice architecture? Stay curious, actively question your environment, and take back control of your autopilot. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.